Hello everyone! Many of you are just now discovering my channel because of my involvement on Dr. Phil. So, if you're one of those people, welcome. Come on in. Consider this your orientation into the deep, deep rabbit hole that is our good friend and alleged police impersonator, Jeremy Dewitte. Those of you who have been watching my content are likely already aware that I was prohibited from bringing up certain juicy topics about Dewitte on the show, but they can't stop me from doing it here. So, please allow me to introduce you to the top 5 things I was not allowed to talk about on Dr. Phil. Number 5. He's being investigated for tax evasion and insurance fraud. From the Dr. Phil episode, we know Jeremy loves engaging in wordplay to make things appear to be something they aren't.
Right. So Mr. DeWitte's company, though, is registered to perform the services.
Well, so is a hot dog stand, but they don't have officers.
What you might not know is that Jeremy calls his employees contractors to avoid paying employment taxes. But just calling someone a contractor doesn't make them one. I'm no expert in tax law, but some people who are certainly seem to think that he may be in quite a bit of trouble.
How many do you have?
I don't have employees, I have contractors.
How many
I don't have employees, I have contractors. Okay, this is the part of the real accountant reacts. Let me explain what's going on. What he's doing is what a lot of small businesses attempt to do, but ultimately end up getting caught and hit with penalties. He's claiming he has no employees because he does not want to have to deal with payroll taxes.
Regarding the insurance fraud, Jeremy insured his Metro State vehicles under his wife's name as personal vehicles, not work vehicles. Insurance investigators came to his house and spoke to his wife about this, and she wasn't happy.
Okay, so would you like to give me a statement about that? Or
I gotta call my husband!
Okay, you're the one that's being questioned here, though, not your husband.
What's going on? I don't understand what's going on. I had a C-section. I'm taking care of a baby. I have a job. I don't know what's going on. You guys are here every day knocking on my door.
We've never been
And
here.
the cops. Because of my husband.
Okay. Well, so.
So I don't know what's going on. He's taking care of my insurance.
Okay.
Number 4. Jeremy has been paid to work as a security guard, despite being ineligible to hold a security license in the state of Florida. Jeremy has been convicted of a felony within the last 10 years, which makes him ineligible to hold a security license in the state of Florida. Despite this, he advertises himself as a security company. And he has accepted money to conduct security services completely unrelated to a funeral escort. This is a felony under the same statute as police impersonation. Now, we could look at these statements from a police investigation into the matter, but if Jeremy has convinced you that you can't trust those police officers, I encourage you to consider this: a charity ride that he was hired to provide security for. This email that you're seeing here is from a Department of Homeland Security officer who's the president of the organization conducting the charity ride. He was not only convinced that Jeremy held the necessary licenses to conduct security, but also that Jeremy was a U.S. Army veteran, which brings us to our next topic. Number 3. Jeremy appears to have committed stolen valor. This is something that I, as an actual Army veteran, am absolutely disgusted by, although to be fair, I'm disgusted by a lot of things that he does. Not only does Jeremy actively claim to have been Special Forces and an Army major for 12 years,
I was young and dumb and I wanted action, so I joined the Army, was a Ranger, and then I went SF, and then I served for 12 years in the U.S. Army as a Major.
he also flies the U.S. Army flag and the Special Forces flag behind his desk, which allows people to come to their own conclusions about his alleged military service without him specifically discussing it. Not really relevant to the discussion of stolen valor, but worth bringing up is this flag here, which is the Los Angeles Police flag. That's a weird thing to have if you're trying to convince people that you are not and have never been a police officer. Just like it's weird to have the military flags if you're not trying to convince people that you were a soldier. His claims helped get him hired for the charity run, which means he's using false claims of military service for personal benefit, which meets the elements of stolen valor. His story of military service doesn't mathematically add up. There were no records of his alleged service, and he has told police during a recorded interview that he has never served in the military.
Have you ever been in the military?
I have.
You were in what branch?
Army.
The Army. When were you in the Army?
I wasn't actually in the Army.
Number 2. Jeremy has been convicted of police impersonation not once, but twice. Yes, he talked about the first time he was convicted in 1998 on the show, but he seems to have forgotten about his second conviction in 2001. Now, this isn't a very long topic. I just want to say that he's misleading you. Oh, before I forget, there is one other thing.
Because guess what? Here's the funny thing. Before the weird thing is that you think you know about me. I served as a cop. I served as a cop. I served as a cop.
What department did you work at? You said you were a
I was
police?
an Oviedo police officer.
Oh, Orlando.
Orlando.
Wow.
Yeah, Oviedo.
Okay.
Well, that's certainly weird coming from someone who's claiming that they're going out of their way to not look like a police officer. Which brings us to number 1, which is that Jeremy is a registered sex offender. Yes, in 2005, he was convicted of lewd and lascivious battery in the 3rd degree. He has claimed that he met the girl in a bar or club and believes she was over the age of 21 due to the fact that she had a 21 and over wristband on. That would make a great story, except there is a recording of him telling his girlfriend that he actually knew the girl beforehand.
And they still sent me to prison, and I'm still a fucking sex offender, and I never fucking touched that girl. Oh, I mean, I gave her hugs, and I gave her kisses because she was related to my best friends. She was like a little niece.
I thought you said you met her at a club.
Yes, he has a girlfriend and a wife. Apparently, they're all cool with it. I'm not going to judge. But Jeremy did get into a lot of trouble for going on the Dr. Phil show because of his sex offender status. Apparently, he's supposed to tell the local law enforcement if he's going to be leaving the state for any extended period of time. And apparently, I believe 5 days that he left the state met that requirement, and he didn't let them know. So he got charged with failing to register a new address as a sex offender. There are a lot more things to talk about, but if you're new to this, well, the rabbit hole goes pretty deep. If you like this channel and you want to support it, please feel free to check out my merchandise store, which you can find here. It has a lot of ridiculous items. I'm not proud of all of them, but I did design all of them. So, hey, I got that going for me. That's all I have for you today. So, until the next time, be good, stay safe.